All right, guys, welcome back to the bench with the reserve team here with episode 15. Thanks for joining in. I think we've got a pretty cool one for you. We're going to break down the group stage of the Euros as we move on to the round of 16, and then we're going to go into some transfer talks. Hey, guys, thanks for coming in today. And what are our initial thoughts about the Euros? How about you, Alex? What do we got first?
Honestly, the first thing I've thought of is like the games have just been honestly like they've been really good, and there's been a lot of great goals scored. My probably biggest takeaway is I didn't know about Italy's unbeaten run before, but wow, Italy look really, really good. Like really good. Even Chiellini getting subbed off, Sherby or Serby, however you pronounce it, comes on. Looks like they don't even really need a Chiellini. So like Italy are really, really good. Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest takeaway so far with it. Max, you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the games have been really good so far. I don't think hasn't been one that hasn't been super exciting or super boring or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, I think the big thing that kind of jumped out at me was Sweden. Sweden top of the group, Spain getting second. And as we know, recording today, that Spain absolutely destroyed Slovakia, which we all assumed was going to happen. And Poland getting that last spot as well. We all thought Lewandowski and the team that they have, they could do a little bit better. But I mean, overall, I think how the groups are standing right now is a good representation of how the teams have played. So,
yeah, I think that's a fair point. And this just to reiterate how good these group stages were. Like the last day today, like
right,
two games ended 2-2. There was drama. There was everything. I was watching the France game. In France-Portugal, and you could hear the crowd react to the goals in the other game. Like that stuff just
So
I
mean, at one point we weren't even going to get Germany moving on or Portugal. It was going to be Hungary. Like that's how good the tournament's been.
And maybe Hungary deserved better.
I was for it.
They were sitting back that whole game, and then the moment that Germany tied it, they scored in a minute later? Yeah. Or no, like less than 30 seconds later or something like that. Yeah. So
I personally, I think Germany, and besides Turkey, who just laid an egg and was
disappointed everyone.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Germany and England might be my two most disappointing sides. I had pretty high hopes for both of them, especially going into the attack. Like
right, yeah.
Either one has shown being the ability to be prolific in that attack. Everybody, like the games. England couldn't score against Scotland.
Right, and
one of the best attacks in the Euros.
Right, and nothing against Scotland too, because they have Tierney, they have Robertson, all that. But like you said, Kane, Sterling, Foden, Grealish when he came on.
Sancho's been a sub.
And Sancho hasn't barely even played. So it's crazy.
That's and the crazy thing is they finished top of the group and they got 3 clean sheets, and we're here saying they've been disappointing, which. Yeah, I think they have been. And I think if you ask any England fan that, they would say that. But shout out to Bukayo Saka for getting man of the match in the last game. I just had to put that out there. My Arsenal star boy doing his bits, just throwing it out there.
At least he found some success. He's not going to find that at the club level. So,
well, hey, exactly why I'm praising him now.
All right, so let's run through the how the group's finished, and then we'll kind of move on from there. So Group A, Italy, Wales, Switzerland, all advance, with Turkey being the lone team to go home from that group. Yeah. Like we said earlier, Italy looks really good. I think Wales, I think they have a chance to move on in their next match. We'll get to that later. And then the Swiss, they had some decent results. They ended up with 4 points, and I think they might deserve to move on. I think they played well enough.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with Turkey, their goal differential is -7.
They're supposed to have good defense. That's what everybody praised him for.
They didn't start once Demiral, the center back for Juve. Once he scored the own goal in the first game, they dropped him. And then when he got subbed on, he almost scored. I think it was either against Wales or Switzerland. I can't remember. But yeah, dude, Turkey's got to be. I know we haven't talked about it, but Turkey's probably got to be the most disappointing thing of this whole tournament.
You'd expect them to get at least a point. You know what I mean? Like just 1 point.
Especially
But
since everybody praised their defense, right? You should be able to
right.
keep a clean sheet even if you can't score.
And with the striker, what's his name? Someone tell me again. I can't.
Barack Yilmaz.
Yeah, especially with him, the season he had at Lille coming
And
off and they
have
won. Like I don't know, I just expected
they
more.
have another little striker, and yeah, I'm gonna mess up the pronunciation, but it's like Yazizi or something like that. He's on the bench. Like they're not even playing. Like it was confusing to watch them. Honestly, they were not good. They weren't good.
Yeah, so that was a dumpster fire.
Mhm.
And then in Group B, Belgium and Denmark. I think that's what we predicted in the first round. I'm glad to see Denmark getting through after what happened with Ericsson. Obviously,
Mhm.
first off, like obviously we are thankful that he's okay and all that kind of stuff. But that really put Denmark in a hole. Like obviously you can't expect them to perform after watching their teammate and brother go down like that. And then for them to have to come back on the pitch and finish the game, like you didn't really expect them to get a decent result after that,
Mhm.
just because of
Mhm.
the range of emotions. But it kind of dug them into a hole, so I'm glad they kind of picked it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, especially too. I mean, looking at it on paper, I would still say Finland's probably the worst team out of the groups, even though Russia finished last and like Finland beat Denmark. So like,
Right.
more glory to Denmark to get in that second spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, Max, you were back in Russia a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's what I was
in
gonna
the
say.
other
I was like
episode.
Russia. I think I said Belgium and Russia just because of what they did at the World Cup. But again, that was home and that was also 4 years ago or whatever. So
That's a good point, though. We've seen home field make a big difference in these Euros.
yeah.
Yeah.
Playing at home have gotten a big boost,
Yeah. hmm
which is why I think the further England can make it along, like
More
Right.
games at Wembley.
Right. And with Belgium too, having De Bruyne back in their side is huge. Absolutely. I mean, he came on and goal and assist in 25 minutes or so.
That
You know what I mean?
strike
Like,
against Kasper Schmeichel. Oh my. Left-footed,
Poor
low drive.
world class.
Yeah. Hey, and Lukaku too. Lukaku
Yeah.
got one of the match of that game that KDB came on and
Yeah.
got the goal and assist for. It's because Lukaku, I think, got essentially the hockey assist for him.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Lukaku's been very good for Belgium too this tournament.
he really
Mhm.
and his numbers should get better as KDB gets more minutes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He was scoring without him, so.
All right, Group C: Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, all advance. Poor North Macedonia going home. I wish they were advancing, but
Yeah.
Right.
it is what it is.
I mean, I think I was gonna say we all were hoping North Macedonia would at least like maybe get a win or maybe get a tie or something, but like coming up against Netherlands, Austria, I don't think that was ever gonna happen, to be honest. But Ukraine, I thought did decently well. I mean, they held their own. They almost came back against Netherlands in that first game. So it'll be nice to see them in the round of 16.
Yeah, I think they've played some really good football here, and it'll be interesting to see how they move as the competition gets a little stiffer. Like obviously, there's no room for error anymore. So
Right. And sorry, Austria with Alaba with Sabitzer. I think it's interesting how Alaba or not interesting, but like Alaba plays a huge role in that team, and I think having him, the analysts on the talk shows have talked about this a ton too, but having him in the back and not having him like facilitate the ball in the middle, I think is like kind of a big loss in a sense for them to like create opportunities, but it's also good to have him back there as a solid defender as well. So yeah.
And then we move on to Group D. So that's England's group. England, Croatia, Czech, all moving on. Scotland, the lone team going home, which they had a chance to advance in their last game if they would have gotten a better result. But as it stands, they're the only squad going home. What are our initial thoughts about that, Alex?
Once again, we were kind of touching on England being like kind of disappointing and whatnot, but some of their players did play well. I mean, and it was good for them. Some of their star players, like I'm saying stars, but Maguire, it does play a big role in that England team. And when we're talking disappointing, the other Harry Kane has not been influential at all. And I don't know if that's to the game style. He just looks like, I'm not even trying to be like rude. He just looks like slow. Like physically, he doesn't look like, I don't know. Like I genuinely don't know. He just doesn't look like he's up for it or something like that. I don't know.
Is there a genuine thought that he doesn't start in this next match? Like,
I think Southgate. They asked him, and he was like, he'll be back.
Yeah,
up
I was
there.
gonna say.
he's clearly their best striker, but at some point you need production from that spot. Like,
and captain.
yeah, but like at what point do you like, hey, we need a goal, and you've had 3
Yeah.
games and you've produced nothing.
Right.
Then again, could it come down to Southgate not knowing what 3 midfielders to play behind him? Because he's
True.
still
Right. I was gonna say like the system
Foden,
that they have.
yeah, Foden wasn't even in the squad for the last game.
Right.
And
But
Mount,
it's
Mount
I
got
think,
put in COVID protocol.
yeah, him and Chilwell.
And Chilwell, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it will be good. I mean, considering we were saying that they've been disappointments in the likes of Rashford and, Sancho haven't even played all that much, like, okay, you still got a lot of firepower to deal with. Like, I hope
Right.
you can adjust. Like, sure, the group stage, England was supposed to get number 1. They did it. I'm kind of like, okay, now, like, get serious. Like, Southgate, play your best 11. Like, Sancho or Rashford has to start, in my opinion.
Don't you think he would have tried that at least in one group stage?
Another great
That's
point.
what
I
I
do
was-
understand him sometimes.
I was telling Alex and our brother Nick, like, I don't understand why he just hasn't given Sancho 1 start. Just to test and see how he does. You know what I mean?
Especially so in the last game, you're already advancing through. I guess you wanted to win the group, but
Right. But
you have enough firepower off the bench to.
yeah, I was gonna say Sancho was one of the best players in the Bundesliga this past year. Like you're not missing anything by replacing him with whoever would be starting. But yeah, I don't.
He loves Sterling for some reason. I know he scored in the last game, or the only goal, I guess, right? But Sterling was not good against Scotland. But I think it could go back again with the whole experience. He might want to have more experienced players up top with Kane and Sterling, and then maybe 2 younger dudes with them. I don't know. Southgate's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I think while we criticize everything he does, he is in a tough spot because he has so many guys. Like, don't get me wrong, that is a great problem as a coach to have. You'd rather have that issue than trying to piece together a team.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many different ways that he could go about making this 11 that I think whoever he puts out on the field, someone's going to be mad. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he's just got to do what he thinks is best. And as we've seen, he obviously doesn't think that highly of Sancho compared to the other players. And so I don't know. But also, in my opinion, while they got 7 points in advance, they haven't looked like the England we expected. So at what point do you shake things up and say, we need to change it? And I thought that would have happened in the last game of this group stage when you had a little bit of leeway. Like, even if you did pull out a tie or you lost, you're still advancing. So
Right. Yeah. Test something different.
It would have been good to test in a games like this because, like, it was against Czech Republic, who were first. Like, it was obviously going to be a good game, so a lot of pressure. So it would have been good to see, like, who's going to deal with it. Really,
I like the Czech Republic side, honestly. I hadn't watched too much of them before this, obviously, but
I think we disrespected them in the last pod.
I think we did too.
Yeah,
they're a good side. I like them.
Yeah.
and Schnick up top's got like 3 or 4 goals now. Goal of the tournament too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's been a lot of goal of the tournaments. Hold on, before the Croatia Modric's goal.
Oh yeah, dude.
30.
Class, world class.
That was 30. I saw a stat. Modric is the youngest goal scorer ever in the Euros, and he's now the oldest goal scorer ever.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was
Get it with a bang.
So, all right. Sweden, Spain finishes in second, still advances. Slovakia and Poland.
I think we all expected Spain to come out on top. I didn't realize. So I know Isaac he was at Dortmund before, and Hunley, who we had on our last podcast, big Dortmund fan. He basically was just, not giving the dude any praise, or not just, saying the dude's just not good enough. And now he's at Sociedad, and he looks like a pretty promising player. Like, this Sweden side's kind of like, they're just kind of fun to watch, honestly.
They're good.
And it seemed like Spain's still kind of finding like who they need to start as well. Like, I think Pedri finally came into the side, and today he played well. I mean, they thumped Slovakia 5-0.
Busquets is back fully. Like, that makes a big difference.
I mean, it helps when the goalie wants to score, in his own net like that.
Yeah, what was that?
And then you got Poland, where Lewandowski literally scored every goal for them this tournament.
He could have if he puts away that header early. Maybe it's a different game. Maybe they
He hit the crossbar twice on that. Yeah, that was crazy.
His first goal though was nasty.
Yeah.
He's
Mhm.
he's pretty good at soccer.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Decent at best to be.
And then our final group here, the group of death, as we had been referring to it, France, Germany, Portugal, all advance. Hungary going home. I think they should have. They deserve. They played.
What team did you not want to see move on then?
I don't think Germany deserved it. I don't know.
I was good with Germany going to. I didn't want Ronaldo to move on.
Yeah, I as much as I think the German squad could be fun to watch, they haven't been. So I was okay with them
Yeah.
really exit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did well against France, and then they
Like-
obviously beat Portugal 4-2. But yeah, today it just looked like I don't know. Maybe they underestimated Hungary or something.
Hungary were sitting back after they scored that goal. They were
focusing more on that game.
Yeah, they were sitting back on. Yeah, they were parking the bus like crazy.
Mueller also didn't play today.
Yeah, Mueller also came in like late in the game, in which I didn't understand that at all. Why he didn't start, but
he has a nagging knee injury.
Oh,
So
that makes sense.
That's why Sane got the start today. So they were hoping to not play him at all.
Oh,
but they needed him. But they needed him against Hungary because Sane, Kai, and I think Timo was on before him too.
Yeah, Timo came in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they had
the player for Germany though who's been really good is Gosens, their left back or left wing back.
Yeah, he's been
pretty sick from Atlanta.
Atlanta.
France has been good. Paul Pogba's probably been their best player.
France has been good. I think finally they showed spurts today at the end of the game that they're back and they can score goals again. Like
right, yeah.
They had chances and they had some called back by VAR and that kind of stuff. But today they were creating a plethora of chances. They looked good. They finished some. You know, they got the one pin, but then they also got a goal in the run of play. So it looked good.
Big Benz.
Big Benz won't miss that. So
they looked like France.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Seems like they're trying to get back. They're trying to get still like understand who's playing their defense though, because Koundé came in at right back.
Koundé came in, and then Digne got injured, and then Rabiot played left back for the remainder of the game. Yep. I thought that was kind of weird, but it worked out.
Linglet is on the bench too, so I was like, oh, he could have came in, but
right, yeah.
Kimpembe out wide or something. I don't know.
Once again, though, that just shows how much depth they have.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, so let's get into the round of 16. Let's talk about some matchups. We'll go through and kind of predict who we think is going to win, and then we'll kind of move on from there. So the first game is Wales and Denmark. Max, what do we think about this game?
Oh, see, this is actually a tough game because I think it'll be pretty close. Both sides are evenly matched, I'd say. I think it could go either way. But if I had to pick, I think I'd just go Wales. I think Bale's actually been having a super good tournament so far, I'd say. And Ramsey, he's been a consistent player for Wales, and I don't know. I just think overall, I think Wales will get a result.
I'm back in Denmark. I'm back in Denmark.
I think they have a lot of momentum.
Their last game, they scored what? How many goals in how many minutes? 3 goals and like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Christensen's goal. Oh my gosh. Dude scored
I think Wales, but I don't want to be surprised with Denmark.
Yeah, that game I feel is very bad. Like just hard to tell.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun.
All right. Italy, Austria. Alex.
I'm gonna have to go with Italy. I think they're gonna continue their unbeaten run. And yeah, I think Austria, they played well, Olibo we've mentioned, but I think Italy, they're playing very well right now. Locatelli, Barella, Insigne, everything's just clicking for them at the moment. Even like Donnarumma, when he get called into action, he's still making great saves. Like I think I think they'll probably win comfortably, to be honest.
And then the next game is the Netherlands and Czech. Even though I just praised the Czech side, I think Netherlands probably advances. As much as I really want to see the Czech in a different matchup, so I can say that they will advance, but I just think Netherlands is they're rolling right now. Even though Alex said that they were going to be disappointing at.
I said because of who, Matthew? Because of their manager.
Anyway, they are rolling. They look good, so I'm gonna advance Netherlands. Netherlands.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
Wijnaldum was gonna play striker dang near the whole tournament.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way Wijnaldum and Depay have been playing, it's got to be
Hey,
Netherlands. It's
Dumfries,
gotta be.
the right back. Dude's been a
Yeah,
monster.
and Dumfries, yeah. And now they have De Ligt back too. He's back healthy. Like, yeah, it's.
They're good.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't even want to get touch on this game, dude.
Belgium, Portugal.
You say me?
Yeah.
My heart says Belgium. My head says Portugal. KDB, Ronaldo, Lukaku. Oh,
Just-
gosh. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm gonna go. Oh gosh, I'm gonna go Portugal.
I say Belgium.
I'm backing.
I'm gonna go Belgium.
Who you and
Okay.
Matt? You guys are. I
Yep.
want Belgium. I want Belgium. I could.
I
see
think they just gel better. You know,
No.
I think they have better team chemistry. And now, as we said earlier, with De Bruyne being back in the team, like he's been playing levels above everyone else. So, yeah, and Big Rom and
Ronaldo
Lukaku's
on the
been
main
crazy too. So,
Ronaldo on the main stage. I'm not counting out. I don't. I think he can. He's going against some oldies too, in Vertonghen, and
So we can score some penalties or what?
yeah.
that's how they're going to move on. Felix
So-
needs to play more for Portugal, though.
Against a good France side today, they created very few chances in the run of play. They
Yeah.
got 2 pins. I thought they were very fortunate to come away with the draw, and I think Belgium's playing really well with KDB back. So
All right, I'm going to switch my prediction. Actually, I'm going to go. I do want Belgium to move on. Like I do. Like I think a lot more Belgian
But you
players.
think Portugal's gonna win?
Just because I don't want to count out Ronaldo. Dude's made for these. Dude is literally made for these moments.
Yeah.
all right, Max, Croatia and Spain.
I probably go Spain. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be back and forth, but I think Spain will see it out.
I'm going upset.
But Alex says
I'm
otherwise.
going upset. I'm back in Croatia, baby.
See, my heart says Croatia, but my head says
I'm backing them.
Yeah. I was gonna say like I'd love to see Croatia go through, but I don't know
Yeah.
if Spain have the same squad they had today and play the same way they did today, that's gonna be a problem.
they can make a little run. They could actually.
Yeah,
beat-
seriously.
Too bad they won't because they'll be eliminated come Monday.
I hope so.
Yeah, I was gonna say we hope so, but
I'm going Croatia. I don't know why. I'm just kind of feeling it.
Luca. That's why.
yeah, I
Modric,
was
One
gonna
word.
every itch.
say.
All right, France and Switzerland. As much as I like the Swiss, think
France.
You don't think Captain Granite Xhaka is going to lead them till victory? I don't either. I'm going with France.
all right, Sweden, Ukraine. I think this is going to be a great game.
Sweden.
I say Sweden.
Yep.
I think Sweden will. I just think they have better quality than Ukraine overall, but
Yeah, I think it should be a good game though.
This
yeah,
year.
I think it'll be a good game too.
I bet it ends in a tie through regulation. After 90 minutes, they'll be tied.
You
You
think?
think?
Yep.
I'm going 2-0 Sweden.
Just do it. Yeah, I mean,
Forsberg and yeah, Sweden been decent. Sweden been good.
All right, England, Germany.
How about you go for it, Matthew? What
yeah,
do
you go. You go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put me on the,
Yeah.
put me on the Belgium Portugal one.
Strictly because of their defense and they haven't allowed a goal, I'm going to go England. Because we've seen that they haven't conceded. I think both attacks have been disappointing. And like we kind of mentioned, I think if they find the right pieces, and I don't know what those pieces are, but that's not my job. I'm just here to watch.
Mm.
I think England could pull it out. I like what they've been able to do defensively and compared. So that's why I'm going with England. It's tough. I don't really know what's going to happen at all. This game could be 0-0 after 90, could be 3-0 either team. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say I have like I think England, and then I'm like, well, Germany, and then I'm like, well, England, and like I don't know.
Like if England plays the right guys, I'd back England, but I literally don't know how they'll roll out. So I'm gonna go with Germany. more.
I'll back the lads. I'll go England. I'll go England too.
I think more
Only if Jack Grealish. I'm just kidding.
more experienced players. They've been disappointing, or they were kind of disappointing against who they played. Hungary. Even they still scored two. And Germany has beaten at least a big team in this. I know England haven't been really presented the opportunity, but Croatia they still beat. But I think it's more convincing Germany beat them 4-2, and they honestly should have gotten a goal against France. So that could have been a tie.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of backing Germany in their experience.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
don't think there's a wrong pick here.
Right. Yeah. I
I
don't.
won't, I won't be mad if England do go. I do like a lot of their players, and if Saka is playing, then we can record this again. And I'm saying, bring home.
We can record this again.
Starting, I'm rooting for England.
All right. Now that we've gone through the round of 16,
Okay.
who do you think is bringing home the trophy? Where's the silverware going?
I'll give you like my top two teams. Just looking off it, I think France, just because the quality. I've said that from the last episode too, just the quality that they have and all that. Yeah, I think France. And I'll go with someone I wouldn't have picked before. I'd go Italy, honestly. Just I think they're a well-rounded team, especially 30 games unbeaten so far. Like that's crazy actually. And they have a ton of experience, ton of flair in their team. Yeah, I'd say France or Italy.
I really like that Italy squad, but they have a tough road to get there.
Do they? I don't know.
If they win, they play the winner of Belgium and Portugal. And then after that one, they would match up with France. So like,
dang, they do have a tough. Oh man, yeah. I'll still back them.
But yeah, I mean, somebody's gonna have to come out of that. So
yeah, I'll still back them. I'll go. My three, if I had to do three, I'd say Belgium too.
They have the same path as Italy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. It sounds like they're all gonna play each other. If we're
somebody's coming through there, and it's a tough path. But like, if you're able to beat those good teams, then maybe the final's easier. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. True.
I'm kind of wanting to say the winner of the Belgium and Portugal game, whoever wins that, I think could possibly go all the way. Especially if Ronaldo gets momentum. If that Portugal team gets like any momentum or like they're clicking, I fully like back Ronaldo to come out and win this thing back to back.
I mean, I think it's also crucial if Bruno Fernandes
doesn't play bad.
I was gonna say if he does what he's been doing at United this past season. Seriously, he hasn't lived up to par. I'd say
Felix has barely played. If
he didn't start today.
If I can remember, Renato is finally getting back into the lineup, which he's been very well for them. Yeah, I think they just I don't know, they were sleeping against Germany or something. They just got tactically exposed in that game. But yeah, that Belgium Portugal game, I just keep looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do one of those teams have to go home early?
Yeah, so I wanted Belgium to win from the beginning, and I still think they have a decent shot. I also like the Italian side, but a strange shout here might be the winner of the England-Germany game because they'll have an easier path through to the.
Okay. Yeah.
Because on the top half of the bracket, you have Belgium, Portugal, Italy, France, Spain, Croatia. On the bottom half, so England and Germany, and then it's like Sweden, Ukraine, Netherlands, Czech, Wales, Denmark. So
the really only threat, assuming Netherlands goes through, would be the Netherlands.
If everything goes to plan, whereas those guys on the other side are going to beat each other up, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know, but I think even though we've talked about them being disappointing, they have a pretty good route to get to the final. So, but then they also have to play somebody good in the finals.
I was going to say you can almost take that back to the World Cup. They had one of the easiest roads, and then they go to the semis and wins. That's why, now I'm saying, okay, they're playing an actual, no disrespect to Croatia whatsoever from the group stage, but now they're playing Germany. It's kind of all right. This is a big name team.
But I am going to back my Belgians. Going with it. I think I think if they find a way to get through Portugal, with KDB will find a way to unlock that Italian defense some way or another. If he has to stand on his head and hit it with his butt over the back line for an assist, he'll do it.
Anything, yeah, he'll find a way.
Close his eyes and kick the ball.
Yeah. Exactly. So
Yeah. Plus the likes and pace of Lukaku up there too, and like Mertens against like Chiellini and Bonucci, like
and both have
they're old, and they're great defenders by any means, but they're old, so they're not as fast.
So the longer they go into this tournament, do their bodies hold up? Like there's just different things.
There's a lot of factors. Yeah.
Any sleeper teams?
Netherlands.
Yeah,
Netherlands.
I'm kind of thinking like more likes of like a Sweden or like a Denmark.
Croatia.
I'd say Croatia. If Croatia win, then Croatia.
Croatia faces France in the next round.
Who would Sweden play?
Sweden was like England, Germany.
England or Germany? Okay.
What about Denmark?
Denmark would have who? Netherlands?
Denmark plays Wales, and then they'd play probably the winner of Netherlands, Czech. They're rolling.
If they get momentum,
They are, but like
it's all about
Netherlands is a tough side.
Well, yeah. I mean, basically every side in this.
Yeah, I know.
Tough side.
Yeah. But
Alex said dark horse, and I.
Okay, yeah.
For some reason, if like Denmark, let's say, wins comfortably against Wales, and Netherlands kind of on the edge, maybe PK shootout against Czech, then it's like,
yeah.
Well, maybe Denmark will go a little bit in the tournament, but
Yeah.
I could see it. I want to see a team like that kind of go far.
I agree. At least one. Just
Yeah.
Just
I don't
one.
care who it is,
Yeah.
like a Czech. What if Czech takes out Netherlands in the first round?
Bro, what is Czech? Oh,
Pretty crazy.
hey, that make me look good.
Yeah.
Hey, if Switzerland beats France, I'll Venmo you both $5. You heard it here on the
I
pod.
was gonna say, everyone, you heard it.
All right, guys. Now that we've wrapped up our Euro talk, we're going to get into some transfer talk, and we'll kind of talk about some of the major transfer rumors or some of them that have actually been executed, and we'll just give our takes here pretty quick. So the first one we want to talk about is Jack Grealish potentially moving to Chelsea. Alex, go ahead.
I don't see it happening, to be honest. Villa trying to make some decent moves, honestly, this summer. They try to get Smith Rowe from us, which I would absolutely hate if they get him from Arsenal. But Grealish means too much to Villa. That's literally their captain, their dude. I think they'd have to pay a hefty price, and he'd be worth absolutely every penny that someone would pay for him. But to Chelsea, I just can't see it happening. Especially like who's he gonna replace?
I was gonna say that was my thing. Where are you gonna put him?
I mean, I don't know, because like Ziyech doesn't even start at Chelsea. Ziyech is a great player.
Right.
I mean, if you go get him, you'd find a place for him, right? Like that's just
Right. Yeah.
add quality and then figure the rest out later.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but I think he stays too. Hometown lad.
I think he stays, or
I just don't see him going to Chelsea.
yeah,
I think I see him going somewhere where like he's needed. Like,
All right, so the next transfer rumor that we've kind of seen bouncing around is Jordi Alba to Inter. Max, what are your thoughts on this one?
that's weird. That's weird to me. Because like I just had that was the first time I've heard about it is today when you brought it up. But I don't know if they're like in need for a left back. But like
Young to Villa.
Yeah, I was gonna say Young just left, but I don't know how much he played while he was there. But I mean, Inter did just win Serie A, and adding Alba to a team like that would definitely strengthen their defense and hopefully help them win another one this next year. So
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good move.
The article that I saw it on, it was basically saying that Barcelona was just like on a fire sale, like everybody's got to go.
Everyone's leaving.
I don't think they would sell. I feel like they wouldn't sell Jordi Alba though. I mean, he's been how good for them at left back for how long? And he's Spain. Like he brings so much experience to that side too.
Yeah,
PK's getting older than a dinosaur. They
but
need
what happened to Ramos? Like legacy means nothing, right? You just kick them out the door when they get old, right?
Right.
All right. So speaking of Ramos, where's Ramos going to end up?
I think the reports have been like City, United, PSG. I think those are the main three I've seen so far. I saw he rejected Sevilla. Like he said, he's not going to a team in La Liga or something like that. So he wants like a new adventure. I mean, as a United fan, I'd love to have him. Partnership him and Maguire would be crazy. But I don't know. I think that PSG might be a good landing spot for him too, honestly, because City already have 2 established center backs, I'd say.
Yeah, I what strikes me is like I think 2 years ago he said he would play for Madrid for free. Like, just
Yeah,
bring him back on like a club friendly deal. Like, he's not a bad player. Like, he's still solid in the back. So like, why wouldn't they just bring him back on some club friendly deal? That's my opinion.
right.
And he said himself he's going to return back one day, probably as like a coaching role.
One of the big potential moves is Harry Kane moving around the Prem. Alex, where's Harry going to end up?
So recently we've seen the City bid for what, 100 pounds or something for him.
Yeah.
And Daniel Levy says they're not going to sell him. So if I'm City, I'm kind of looking at this at City more thinking, if you're going to spend that type of money on someone, just go for Haaland. Honestly, younger. Hopefully he's more worth it. Kane is established in the Premier League. I don't know how much you have to pay for Kane for him to leave Daniel Levy in Tottenham. You can't even get a manager right now. So I legit don't know. I do not know where he'll end up. I think if he was going to go, I would have probably still guessed Man City if they have to up their price or something. But Daniel Levy seems really stingy. So
yeah, my gut tells me that even though he wants to leave, I bet he ends up back at Tottenham again.
Which is stupid. He won't win anything. They don't have a manager right now. Like,
it's not. I don't think it's good for his career, but I think that's what'll happen. All right. So with all the recent success we've seen them have in the Euros, it'll be cool to see the Dutch lads Wijnaldum and Depay over at Barca. Max, what are our thoughts on that?
Yeah. So with Wijnaldum joining PSG, I think that'll be great for them getting Champions League, or like their attempt to get Champions League, because he's an established midfielder, has been super class at Liverpool these past few years. So I think him, Idrissa Gueye, Verratti, I think that's a solid midfield for PSG going forward. And then Depay going to Barca, I think and Aguero joining, and then Messi potentially staying. I think that's a solid, what could be a solid trio or a solid attack for Barca in the future.
And I talk a lot about experience, honestly. Wijnaldum has won the Champions League, and that's the trophy that everybody at PSG wants to win. So like, they're bringing the right people, and now we know Mbappe won't leave. I think Neymar's happy, so this just gives them better hopes of winning that.
All right, in our last transfer for this podcast, Max's big transfer of the summer. As you can see, he's already super excited over there. Max, what do we think about old Sancho?
Bring him in. Sign the lad. I'm with it. I mean, he's been killing it at the Bundesliga these past few years. Obviously, the deal last year fell out just because they couldn't agree on a price, even though he agreed personal terms. But it seems like his price has gone down about like 30 mil. It seems like, and he's already agreed personal terms as well. So I think it's just a matter of time before he's a United lad. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good for us.
I hope something falls through and he stays at Dortmund with Haaland for another season. They're fun to watch. I hope they can both stay.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Reserve Team podcast. We appreciate all the support you've been giving us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and you'll hear more from us soon.
Up the Reserve Team, baby. They can't expect perfectness from us.
Perfectness?
Is that a perfectus?
Let's go. Hey.
Section?
Reserve Team on 3.